Welcome to our video series on no fault for the medical provider. We decided to put this series together because unfortunately there's a lot of videos out there for lawyers and for people from a legal perspective who were involved in no fault collections. However, not for providers, and we really felt like that was the need here. This is a series for providers, either providers who have just gotten into no fault or providers who have been practicing for a long time and have particular issues that may arise. We broke up this series into about 20 independent topics. You don't have to take them in order. You can take them at any particular topic you want. The series is about 5 to 10 minute videos, depending on what the topic is. And we did it topic centric so that it would apply to all different types of practices and all different types of providers. By way of overview, some of the topics are going to be just general: what is no fault, what new issues are coming up for fee schedule, for billing issues, verifications that we're seeing, documentation, patients' rights and responsibilities, as well as practitioners' rights and responsibilities, how to deal with IMEs, how to deal with EUOs. Really, it's the full gamut of the no-fault practice. And you can feel free to watch them at any time. As I said, they're 5 to 10 minutes each. So it's really, you can just fill in the topic here or there if you want. Let me tell you a little bit about me. I've been practicing in the no-fault area for more than 20 years and have collected in excess of $50 million for medical providers personally, as well as my firm has collected in excess of $150 million for healthcare providers. And what's important to remember is, what is no fault? Why do we do it? You know, big overview stuff. I think sometimes practitioners seem to forget that, and some of that will guide you on how to run your practice. The point here is to run your practice more efficiently, be more profitable, and provide better patient care. Really, the hallmarks of any good healthcare practice. So just by way of overview, let's talk about no fault in general for this one. Why does the no fault system set up, and how does it work? So no fault relates to people injured relating to the use and operation of a vehicle. So it's car accident cases primarily. The system came into being in the late 70s because the courts were overrun with no fault cases, and it was really bogging down the system. And the legislature felt that people, when they needed help, needed healthcare after a car accident, were actually stifled from getting that because of the economic impediments and the timetable. So prior to the institution of the no fault system, you would have to either lay out of pocket the cost of the treatment, or you would have to sue, and once that lawsuit was proceeding, you could then negotiate how the medical provider would be paid. This discouraged people from getting the care they needed, and it also made it difficult for practitioners, patients, and the courts. And so the legislature said, let's overhaul the system and make it really simple. Essentially 3 aspects of it. 1, patient gives an assignment to the doctor for their treatment and then can start treating instantly. They don't need an insurance company to approve it. They don't need the courts involved. You can just go to your medical provider, sign an assignment of benefits, and the healthcare provider can start treating. That's 1. 2, the reason they set it up that way was so that healthcare providers who are sophisticated, much more sophisticated than a person who's in a car accident once or twice in their life, will have a system in place so that they can submit bills and collect on their bills. And 3, by doing it in a streamlined process, taking the courts out of it, there's a savings from an insurance company perspective in overhead and cost to administer these types of programs. That's essentially why the no-fault system came to be. The important thing to remember is it's people who are injured during the use and operation of a vehicle. That means the passenger in the car, the driver in a car, the bicyclist who is hit by a car, the pedestrian who's hit by a car, any series of car accidents, with the exception of a couple of little areas, one of which being if you were in the car as a result of your employment, such as you're a taxi driver, you're a delivery driver, then those are workers' comp cases because those are an accident during the course of your employment. The other exceptions are pretty small, which would be if you were driving while under the influence of alcohol or drugs. DUIs are not covered by no fault. If you were committing a felony while you're driving, the bank robber in the getaway car would not qualify for no fault. The last group would be those people who, because of their own conduct, are not eligible for no fault benefits, such as it's a staged accident, or they failed to pay their premium, or they misrepresented some material aspect of their life to the insurance company who otherwise would not have underwritten the policy. Other than that, everything else related to the care and use of a motor vehicle would be covered under no fault. The other important thing to remember is also which policy would cover you, and it's always the car that you are in. It's that insurance policy that would cover you. So if you're a passenger in a vehicle, you actually use the no-fault carrier for that vehicle. If you're a pedestrian, it's the car that hits you. We're not concerned about fault, so it doesn't matter what the other guy did or what the other insurance company is. There is also a category for those people who are uninsured, and they would bring a no-fault suit against MVAC, which would cover all of the uninsured injured parties under no fault. So that being said, that was just a general overview on what the series is about and what to look forward to in the future. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. At the end of this video, there's contact information for my office. We're happy to help. We've been doing this for, as I said, more than 2 decades. So we really know the ins and outs of the system and are happy to help. Thank you for tuning in to our video series, and I look forward to meeting with you and seeing you in the future. Thanks.